Beyond following just the basic product instructions, like you were saying, how else can I keep myself and others safe from a potential exposure to disinfectant wipes?
Yeah. I think a lot of these pointers are going to hold true for many other poisons that could exist in the house. But just like for those with disinfecting wipes or other disinfectants of any kind, having a secure storage location is important. I don't know about you, but I was really comfortable with just kind of sticking that canister under my cupboard, under my sink in the kitchen. But remembering that little ones can get into those cupboards, even if it's a child safety lock, those aren't child proof. And so making sure it's either up and out of reach, maybe you've got a cupboard in the garage or somewhere, or that cupboard has an actual padlock or key lock on it that the children aren't going to be able to get into. So storage is a really key element. And also, another essential element is always following the entire label. I mentioned before how there are some tricky parts on pesticide labels. Maybe it's only for a certain disinfectant. The disinfectant's only going to work for a certain virus. Or if it has 2 or 3 different viruses that it controls, they're listed there and they have different instructions on how to control them, right? So not just looking at the label, but trying to read most of it, the whole thing, following the entire label. And there's one really key piece that I missed here, which is called the contact time. So when you read a disinfectant label, there's going to be a part of the label that mentions how long to leave it wet on surfaces. So this is the amount of time that it needs to actually work against that germ on the surface. It's called the contact time. You might see it as dwell time, or it might just say time listed there, but you're looking for usually minutes and seconds. And it could be as little as 30 seconds to a minute or several minutes. But if you aren't able to leave that wet on a surface, visibly wet on that surface for that amount of time, it's not going to be guaranteed to actually do the job. So following the entire label, including where it can be used and that contact time, are going to be essential. And then, of course, always having that first aid handy if something were to go wrong, because these disinfecting wipes are not meant to be used on people, and they can be confused that way. So if something were to go wrong, having that number for poison control handy, or having that first aid handy is important.